morning, class 9. Last I did with you is Fold Mountain and told this time we will do with Volcanic Mountain. What is Volcanic Mountain? As you have heard in the art, you read about that the lava that comes out erupts from the earth's crust and allows through the cracks. The rupture of the earth's crust that allows hot lava and volcanic ashes gases to escape from a magma chamber below the surface is usually called a volcano. They are formed when molten magma emerged out of the earth's surface through the zones of through the places where it is weak in the earth's crust. When magma flows out the earth's surface, a molten material is coming out known as lava, because we have read that the crust is so much heat is produced there, and due to the pressure the pieces are the earth is not solid but it is liquid, and when in this liquid water comes, vapor is originating, pressure creates, and then they come up. So this lava, when it comes out as ash, dust, rock fragments, various gases and water vapors also erupt along this liquid magma. Now volcanic mountains are formed by the accumulation of this magma. What happens once if this volcano is erupted? For instance, today at one time the volcano has erupted, the lava came out and it is getting solidified as it comes with the contact with the atmosphere. Again, if this lava is deposited along the around the vent, again this eruption occurs after a day or after a long period of time. Then again magmas come out and they are started settling on the previous lava that has come out and settled there. If the lava is basic, a flattened cone is formed on the other hand of the lava in acidic. A stiff cone is formed. If we flow out something through a cone, then that cone will not flatten but it will become stiff. So same thing occurs in this volcanic eruption. Mount Vesuvius, Mount Fujiama, Kilimanjaro in Africa, Cotopaxi in Ecuador are example of such islands. Also the barren land of Andaman Nicobar. There are large numbers of volcanoes that are found in the Eastern Asia, found in the islands of the Eastern Asia, forming a ring along the volcano ring with the volcanoes in the North Pacific Ocean and North Pacific and the North and South America, and that is known as Ring of Fire, Pacific Ring of Fire. There are series of volcanoes which comes in this form, so it is known as Ring of Fire. Now these volcanic mountains have some features. The features are, first and foremost, the volcanic mountains are conical in shape, as it is coming in this formation, so it is conical in shape. Then a large, this is Vesuvius, this is the opening through which the lava came out. When eruption occurs, this portion it just blows out, so a big crater is formed there. Next, the topmost part of the volcanic mountains, it is known as crater. Some volcanic mountains have one primary main crater or many main crater. Most of the eruptions takes place through that only. It also develops few more subsidiary craters which acts as a secondary. For instance, eruption is going on if there is pressure, and if the lava find places other than this crater to come out, they do come out from those places. The craters, not craters, lava. The craters of the volcanic mountains are connected to the magma chamber, that is in the interior of the earth. Let's see. Eruptions are occurring, but this is all connected to the center of the earth. You better understand these things properly, because in the next class 10, these things will not be there, but the things formed due to this volcanic eruption, fold mountains, you have to study. Different formation occurs, different thing of names will be coming up. So, connected with the magma chamber in the earth is by from the interior by the, as if there is a pipe-like system. Through those places they come out. Some volcanic mountains also have crater lakes. Now big craters are formed in which water stores, and then later it becomes lake. Now next is block mountains. What is block mountains? As I have told you, at some time a piece of land, it is straight, and might be this portion is coming down, then these two portions remain upstairs, and this flat land comes down, and these are steep areas, and so this is Rift Valley. Or might happen that it is coming down, faulting is happening, and this portion remain as it is, then it is known as block mountains. This is the formation, how block mountains are formed. The upstanding landmass then forms a mountain known as block mountain or horst. Again, when the block of the mountain between two parallel faults sink, like this one, the uplands that stand on either side of the downthrown block forms block mountains. Rift Valley, when a block is thrown down, now this is coming down between two parallel faults, a rift valley or a garden is formed. The rift valley is a long and narrow valley with, I told you, these are steep edges. Satpura, Vindhyas, Black Forest in Germany, Vestgas are the example of such mountains. What are the characteristics of these mountains? The characteristics are that they are always flat. Now look, they are always flat at the top and steep at the side. The horst or block mountains is always associated with Rift Valley or a garden. They are not too high, not as high. They are not as much high as fold mountains. They are at lower level and not also in height, and not to cover extensive area. The Rift Valley is usually occupied by a river in between two blocks. Sometimes river is flowing in these mountains. Example is Narmada, that flows in India between Vindhyas and Satpura. This line, that where does the Satpura, where does Narmada blow or flow, sorry, not blow, flow, you will always remember, because here I am telling you that Narmada is flowing between two rift valleys, that is Narmada, Vindhya and Satpura. Now wherever you are finding Narmada, that means on the other two sides, one is Vindhyas and other is Satpuras. Okay, that will help you to memorize the map. Now the sides of the block mountains are exposed. Now these portions, as they are open, they are exposed to weathering. So here erosion takes place and these modify its shapes. Next is relict or residual mountain or mountain of denudation. Now what does mountain of denudation? Now the mountains that are formed by the erosion of highlands, mostly resistant rocks are known as relict or erosional mountains. They are known as residual mountains also. Now how they are formed? They are formed due to the weathering, the frost, the sun, the running water, moving ice, water, these rocks and these formations of this. What happens when the sediments are formed? Some sediments remain soft and some will become hard. The soft rocks which have formed, they do erode with the weathering agents very easily for a long period of time. And when this erosion occurs, after a long time, the resistant hard rocks are left they are standing in form of residual mountains like a zigzag pattern. These are known as relic mountains or erosional mountains. These mountains are formed by the process of denudation, or for this they are also known as mountain of denudation. Example is our Eastern Ghat, Aravalli, the Nilgiris in India, Mesas, Highland, Scotland, Norway, as some of the examples. Relic mountains are noticed all over the world. Weathering by climatic elements like temperature, rainfall, wind, etc., and erosion by the natural agents reduce the highlands. We find these mountains in arid and semi-arid regions. What is arid? Arid is region where the weather is dry, and semi-arid, the less humidity. Both the places, humidity, arid, there is very less humidity, and semi-arid means humidity is little bit more than the arid area. High plateaus in arid regions are eroded because of and they become flat top due to the wind and other agents. Their tops are topped steep sided table like mesa are formed. Their top are flat. They are like this flat, or example can be given. And see, this have turned into this forms, these types they form, and these are known as, sometimes they are known, they have different names in different places, and but Iselberg, Mesa are the name that has been given to these mountains. They are the remains of the upland areas composed of resistance crystallization of rocks. Also, monadocks are considered to be the most typical type of residual mountains, especially in humid region, the region where water particles are there. Now see, these are canyon because these have eroded. These are soft rocks, these are hard rocks, this is flat. They are staying two places, a gap have formed between the mountains, and these are known as canyons. All these features you will get in class 10 first chapter. I am telling you repeatedly, so you now have time, one time go through this chapter very minutely and properly, so that in the next class you can understand the thing easily and summarize it easily for your matriculation. Now, what are the features of these mountains? These are formed due to weathering and long duration old age weathering. The slopes of the residual mountains are gentle. Due to weathering they become gentle. Next, they are composed of hard resistant rocks as the soft rocks have blown away. The top of the residual mountains is rounded, unlike high mountains. Sharp peaks are not there. Here is a difference. You write it and you understand it. Now, what is the importance of the mountains? The biggest importance of mountains in India we see is that Himalaya protects us from two sides. One, from India, it stopped the monsoon wind to leave India, and as this wind come and as the Himalaya block the wind to go over it, so it is accumulated and then rain occurs in the northern plain. This is the biggest achievement of Himalaya mountains for India. Next is that this Himalayan ranges, they protect India from the cold wind that would have been blowing into India from through China. This is the biggest work that Himalaya do for us, and for that we are thankful to Himalaya. Next, the cold wind that would have come is known as icy Siberian winds. Then this Himalaya, as I told you, help us to get good amount of rain as the wind is being blocked and they accumulate and form clouds in the northern part of India. These mountains are the sources of rivers that flows in India, especially Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, Indus, etc. Mountains are full of trees. So many of the trees are very useful for medicine, herbs, and also they are used in other works. The woods are used for other works. These mountains are storehouse of minerals like iron ore, copper, etc. The cool climate of the Himalayan mountains attract tourists to our country. They want to go to the tourist spots of Kashmir and they stay there for a few days and have a good time. Farming in these mountains is not possible, so here terrace farming is being practiced. Now what is terrace farming? Terrace farming is the process in which in Europe where the mountains are cut into steps. Okay. Steps to make a terrace or stair-like system, and then terrace farming is done. This provides livelihood of the people living in those places. As these mountains are steep and hard rocks are found, so transportation is not so easy, roads are not possible to make, and due to that industries, trades are not being able to develop in these places because factories are not able to be put up. Here animal rearing is very common, but the pastures or the humid slopes are more than those of the mountains. Plateaus, this is as a natural habitat for the wild animals and protect them for their execution. This time we have seen what happens when the rain is not there due to Ayla, and I think while reading this you will recall those memories when people were not able to get food and all those things. So these mountains are very much helpful in all aspects. Okay, next will be plateau next time.